And we have got Deepak with us. Hi, Deepak. How are you? And share some of your projects with us. Please go ahead. As you know, most of you are aware of, we have quality talks and we have people presenting their projects. And yeah, I'm assuming that you are aware of this initiative. We invite people to present their projects, and once they present their projects, after that, they are um, they in fact we um, of course create a repository of the projects, and we with their kind permission we share these projects with all our participants. So we have got Deepak, and Deepak, if you'd like to please go ahead and present your projects without spending too much time on anything else. Go ahead. I hope you are able to hear me. Not sure if you're able to hear me. Deepak, are you there? Deepak, we are. I don't think I'm able to hear. My team can tell me if they're able to hear the Deepak's voice. If you can write in the comment box if okay. So meanwhile, while Deepak is trying to adjust his mic, I'll just introduce you to this initiative. We have been conducting training programs for the last 17 years, and many of our participants have already completed these projects. And I would like my team to keep the screen on and like share while they can share the project. Yeah. And what we encourage people, instead of we talking about the projects, instead of we we are always in a training mode, as you might have noticed, as those who are in LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, you have been watching us for quite some time, and we are always in the habit of preaching mode, coming out with some tools, techniques, explaining those tools and techniques to you, asking questions about it. We encourage our participants to do these projects, and if they are able to uh, if you are first of all, getting a project itself is a big thing. It's a great opportunity, you know which your organization can provide to complete the project. Now, if you are able to get this opportunity, then uh, and of course successfully complete these projects, why not present it to all the people who would like to learn from this? So what I would I think there are some technical issues, and maybe if Deepak is not able to join us, maybe we can schedule this quality talk after some time. No issues, perfectly fine with us. So, Deepak, if you're not able to hear us and if you're not able to connect with us, we can reschedule this talk if that is fine with you. I can present your project, by the way, but instead of I presenting the project, I would like you to present the project. So, if Deepak, if you're facing some difficulties joining us, just let us know. You can give us a call. My team can get in touch with him, and in case he is able to resolve this issue in the next 2 to 3 minutes, well and good. Otherwise, we can reschedule this talk. Not a problem. Okay, so by the time let's wait for Deepak. Let's give him a chance for the next 2 to 3 minutes. But just those who are totally new to Lean and Six Sigma, it is a project approach towards process improvement. So what you do in an organization is when you want to improve something, the best way is to apply the project approach. And what is the project? The basic definition of a project. The basic definition of a project is it has a starting point, it has an end point. It's a one-time endeavor. So, whatever you want to improve in your organization, try to convert into a project. And that's what thousands of people who have got trained from us have done. And we keep presenting these projects. Today, we are going to present two projects, one now, if possible, And if technically it's not possible for Deepak to join in, no issues. Then after let's say around 45 minutes, we are going to have another project presentation. So we'll get back to you on that. But those who are listening to us, if you want to present your projects, most welcome. You can always write to us, send your projects to us. It doesn't have to save millions of dollars as typically Lean and Six Sigma projects present lots of, they save a lot of money. It's not necessary that they should save money in terms of dollars. It could be a intangible benefit as well. So if your project has really impacted the organization positively, or um, your customers is feeling happy about your work, why not present it to the whole world? And we invite all the people uh, who are listening to us and who might be listening to us later on after this live video ends. Um, Feel free to share these projects or the work with us, and we'll be happy to take your work to the whole world. You can hide the organization's names if you want. You can always hide the team's names if you want. And as long as the project is genuine, which of course is one of the criteria, we would be happy to invite you to the projects. So, well, I think it appears that Deepak is not able to join us. So, well, I would mm, happens, technical difficulties. Rather than I presenting the project, we'll reschedule this talk, and I'm so sorry for you know rescheduling. If you're all hearing, by the way, any questions you have? Some of you have joined. I can see a lot of people have joined. You have any questions with us related to Lean Six Sigma project? So let us convert this into a conversation with the general audience. So if you are having,
Hello.
yes,
Hello.
okay, Deepak, yes, suddenly, yeah, now Deepak, we are able to hear Deepak. Yes, please go ahead,
Oh,
Deepak. Yes, yes.
yeah.
So
Sorry,
you
sir.
can, yeah. Hi. No problem.
Yeah.
We cannot see you, but it's okay. Just go ahead and present your project. Yes, and thanks that at least finally we are able to see your, sorry, hear you. That's great. Yeah. So you can share. Yeah, please go ahead,
Yeah.
Deepak. Yeah, we can hear you. Come closer to the mic if possible, and this should be good
Yeah.
enough.
Now we can hear, sir. Just
Yes, we can. Yes, we can hear
yeah.
you really well. So you can share your screen. I think
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just go ahead and share your screen, and you can start presenting the project. So I think if you're facing difficulties, you should just have to present. Just press the present, or even if you have sent the
Yeah. I
presentation
have
to
sent.
us, we can share.
Yeah. I
My
have sent
team.
the presentation to Richa ma'am.
Yes, yes. So fine. So let's here is your presentation, and please go ahead.
Yeah. Uh, yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Deepak, and I am from Bangalore. Currently working as an RCA leader and management representative in a generator manufacturing company. I'll be presenting a Six Sigma project related to electrical product in manufacturing domain. Slide change. I'm not able to change the slide. Yeah, you can see the product. The left hand is the AC generator, which we supply to a chemical industry application. It's a complete AC generator with 11,000 volts, 18 megawatt, the capacity, and with 50 hertz. On the right side, you see the main rotor sub-assembly part. Yes, next slide. Yeah, this is the details of the contents of the presentation with different phases: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. The slide number, subsequent slide. Next. Yes, I start with the define phase. Yes, the voice of the customer critical to quality. Why the project is required? That's the one thing. Yes, rotor failure observed during generator running at site. It was a major quality complaint received from the customer, which in turn has an effect on the downtime of the generator, loss of power generation due to machine stoppage, quality reputation, business impact. To overcome this issue and get the confidence of the customer, this project is essentially essential and taken on priority. You can see the voice of customer, the drivers with the rotor assembly, and critical to quality. The AC generator should be free from rotor failures. Next slide. Yes, this is the project charter. Yes, the project title to eliminate rotor failure reported at sites, the drivers and the customer CTQ critical to quality. The problem statement rotor failure reported at site during machine running at full load, that is up to 18 megawatt. The machine was running there. There was a rotor failure was there. So this was the complaint received from the customer. Yes, the severity is 8, considering the impact what has happened, and RPN which calculated the occurrence and direction is 120, but as per the customer the RPN should be less than 90. So customer recommended for a root cause analysis and actions. So being a black belt myself, Deepak, and I have the CFT team, the design engineer, testing engineer, even the supplier is also added. I'll tell you why supplier was added, and electrical engineer at stage inspections. Then comes the 5 phases, the start and the end date. Next. Yes, this is the SIPOC basic diagram where the supplier, we get the raw materials, the input is the wound rotor, and the process of producing the manufacturing of the part. Next comes the AC generator is the output. Then it goes to the chemical industry, the OEM. Next. Yes, this is the problem description. You can see the rotor failure was reported on 24th Feb 2022. Considering the complaint, we recommended the customer to send back the faulty rotor to our works for detailed analysis investigation. We received the rotor on 9th March. On receipt of the rotor, our cross-functional team decided to perform the complete analysis and investigation of the rotor failure. You can see the left-hand side is a faulty rotor. On the right-hand side, immediately we had an observation that rotor wedges, which is the subpart of the rotor, observed black in color. I think the highlighted one indicates that on one side. Next. Yes, we decided to do two tests. Perform two activities. One is to do the electrical test on the faulty rotor. The second thing is, based on the results of the electrical test, we decided to remove the coil insulation if required. So
Yeah,
exciter rotor.
yeah, Deepak. Yeah. So
Yeah,
first of all, I really consider you to include the supplier in the project.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
something very very nice, because
yeah,
this some people ask, even the supplier could be the team member. Yes, the answer is yes, of course. And also,
yes, sir.
Deepak, a request would be like if you can keep your mic a little bit away from your mouth,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that. Yeah, so that will be better. A little bit away, not
Sorry,
too much away.
sorry, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah, we performed the electrical test on the faulty rotor. First was the exciter rotor, which is the part of the faulty rotor. We checked the insulation resistance. Yes, it is okay, not an issue. The criteria meets the criteria. And also we did the high voltage test on the faulty on the exciter rotor. Yes, it withstood. Next. Yes, now we did the insulation resistance on the main rotor. This particular rotor is a 4-pole machine. All the 4 poles were connected and we checked the insulation resistance. It was not okay. It was not meeting the criteria. Criteria is 1.5 mega ohm. It was less than that. So what we did is we separated the poles A, B, and C, D. There are 4 poles. So we did the insulation resistance with A and B pole. It was okay, and we did one more 2 poles C and D. That the indication is not okay because it doesn't meet the criteria. Afterwards, we did the high frequency test at 400 hertz, grouping the 2 poles. The pole A and B is okay, and the pole C and D is not okay. Next. Further, we did an test which is called recurrent surge oscilloscope RSO test, where we can see the input waveform. I think you can see in the slide the input waveform and output waveform. Since the pole A and B is okay, you can see the input waveform and output, but there is no split. If you come to the next C and D pole, you can see there is a split in the waveform. So this indicates that there is an interturn short or the rotor has failed. This gives an indication. Next. Yes, then once we decided that there is an interturn short or a rotor has happened in the rotor, we decided to remove the coil insulation from the faulty rotor. You can see some of the photographs of the insulation damaged. When we removed the insulation from the rotor, we could see this insulation damage. These are some of the slides which shows the insulation damage. You can see the dust on the wedges. Also, we can see the color change of the wedges. I told in the second slide that there is some indication of color change. This was evident that yes, the color has changed at the wedges. Next. Yes. Now I am coming to the analysis part. Yes, after removal of the coils, investigation done with the cross-functional team. The following are the observations. This is very, very important. We observed the winding temperature as reached above the specification. The specification with the winding is this class of insulation is 155 degree plus or minus 5 degree. Actually, it has gone 200 degree, about 200 degree. Yes, that's one analysis part. The second thing is the wedges color has changed. Dust accumulated on the wedges. Coils had got damaged. So with this, we wanted to check the cooler performance since winding temperature observed more. There is one more part where our supplier supplies the cooler. It is mounted on the top side of the generator. So inform customer about the scenario and plan to debut our engineer to site to check the generator and cooler performance. Next. Yes, our engineer was deputed to site and to check the generator and cooler performance. Summary of the inputs and observations at site. Yes, when he went to site, our engineer, the machine was loaded and run to maximum load for 36 minutes only, even after cold air temperature increased above 55 degrees. When the machine was loaded to maximum load, we can see the cooler water temperature measured up to 129 degrees. The specification should be 75 to 85 degree. Okay. The records were read from the SCADA. Air inlet temperature measured between 91.2 to 101.4. Yes, the spec is 60 to 70. Air outlet temperature measured between 110 degrees to 121. The spec is 75 to 80 degrees. Yes, we got the indication of the cooler water failure. Cooling water failure from the SCADA reading. You can see that. So next what we did is we recorded the cooling water temperature. Next slide. We can see the cooling water temperature details which is received from the site. Here I have put R, Y and B because it's a three-phase. R, Y and B are the three-phase load. It goes to the grid. So from the site data, it's evident that the water temperature inside the cooler tubes has reached maximum 129.7 degree. This indicates that winding temperature has gone more. As per the design, the water temperature should be between 75 to 85 degree. Next. Yes, further we requested the customer to send back the cooler to check the cooler performance. This is the cooler which our supplier has supplied, which mounts on above the generator because it's a top side cooler to cool the machine. This is the cooler we received from the site, the photograph of it. Next. Yes, we removed the cooler tubes. We can see some visual photos of the cooler tubes where scaling and sediment formation are observed. When we remove the cooler tubes, we can see this. Next. Yes, the inlet and outlet pipes scaling observed where the water flows. Next. Yes, this is the cooling water chamber. You can see how the scaling and sediments have occurred. Observed, sorry. Next. Yes, further requested the customer to share the cooler water parameter details which he has recorded at site. We received the cooler water parameter details. You can see the parameters and our design specification, and we received the data from the customer. The pH value, tube material is okay, but the chloride content is not okay. It is more than, it should be less than 200 ppm. It is 276 ppm. Alkaline content, okay. Then dissolved salts, TDS, everything is okay. The hardness should be 238 ppm. Sorry, it should be 120 to 180 ppm. It is getting 238 ppm. It's not okay. So from this data, it is evident that the chloride content and the hardness are not as per the specification. Next. Next, what are the disadvantages of this chloride content and hardness? Yes, the presence of chloride content initially leads to scaling and sediments formation on the inner surface of the tubes. At later stages, we are going to get the pitting mass which will be formed, which leads to corrosion, and it aggravates and leads to the stress corrosion cracking. We send this photograph with a microscopic view. You can see the microscopic view of the scaling and sediments. So chloride content should not be there. Next, what is the disadvantage of having more hardness in water? Yes, you can see the different water type: soft, slightly hard, moderately hard, hard, and very hard. The hard is 120 to 80 ppm is our specification, but the water used in this cooler is hard water with pH value of 8.1. The hardness is 238 ppm, which is more than the specification. It's not okay. Next, yes, with this data, we performed a brainstorming with the technical team and also with the supplier related to the rotor failure. These are some of the brainstorming causes which were told by the CFT team, which was vetted like this. Next, with this cause and effect diagram was put, the category of causes were bifurcated into material, man, and method. You can see this. Next, here we used one more tool where we prioritize the causes into high, medium, and low, which is called the control impact matrix. With the high impact, medium impact, and low impact. You can see the category of probable causes in the high impact and low impact. Next, with this, with the control impact matrix, observations, input from the technical team, a Viva analysis is done to arrive at the root cause. Yes, the problem is rotor failure. Why the rotor failure?
Hmm. As I'm going like as going through this project and I'm seeing you deliver. One of the things I would like to also tell our audience is that Deepak has won our best project presentation awards for the last 2 years, and in fact, somehow generally. Uh, we want to encourage others also, so we told him not to not to participate this time because he might win the award again. But anyway, of course, we'd like to encourage everyone, including Deepak, and why not? So one good thing, what you might have noticed, everyone, till the time now we are in analyze phase. This project and project like yours also become a very good case studies for us to teach. So when we are teaching, like now, just now you talked about control impact matrix, or now you're talking about 5 analysis, and previously so many tools and techniques you talked about. It's so easy and good to see the real implementation of these tools and techniques in a real life scenario. A while ago, I think 1 hour back, you saw one of our participants presenting the healthcare projects. Now we have manufacturing. So you can see always that, this is the way Lean Six Sigma is, or this is the way any data analytics is. And yes, so sorry for this interruption. Please go ahead, Deepak. But I just
Yeah,
wanted to share share my thoughts with the
it's
people
pleasure,
here.
sir. It's not an issue.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is the Viva analysis. You can see why due to rotor winding failure. Why the rotor winding failure? Due to high winding temperature. Why insufficient cooling? Why insufficient cooling? Due to less heat transfer between the hot air and cold water. We bifurcated the tubing due to the cooling circuit failure. One is due to the blockage of cooler tubes. Why the cooler tubes are blocked? Due to scaling and sediments of the inner region of the cooler. Why? The poor maintenance of the cooler tubes is one root cause. The second is due to cooler design. There are two root causes with this. Yes. Next. Yes. After detailed investigation of the defective rotor using Viva analysis, we could arrive at the root causes for the rotor failure. One is the cooler design, one is the poor maintenance of the cooler tubes. Yes, this analysis was discussed with the customer and also the site team, and also we instruction given to the customer to reject the cooler. No rework is possible. In case if rework also, chances of leading to stress corrosion crack in future. We already indicated that after our analysis. Next. Next comes the improve phase where we took the corrective action and validation of the corrective action. Yes, the first corrective action is the new cooler was designed. You can see some of the three parameters we designed. New filters, new filters were designed with appropriate air passage, cooler capacity improved, cooling water flow modified. Yes, after the corrective action was completed, the new cooler was installed at site. The machine was validated with full load. That was our main concern. At full load, the machine should run without any abnormalities. Yes, the parameters were monitored. You can see the air temperature, air inlet, outlet, cooling temperature. It measured within the specification. Okay. The second part is the operational manual. We updated the design document, operational manual, and we instructed the customer to perform the periodic maintenance of the cooler tubes every 2 years, irrespective of machine running with partial or full load. The updated operation manual is shared to customer. Yes. Finally, the machine was run with full load after action implementation. No abnormalities observed. Air inlet and outlet temperature were well within the limit. The cooling water measurement done and readings are taken from SCADA. The temperature is well within the limit. Next. Yes, after the corrective action was completed, the customer wanted us to do the statistical analysis on this. Yes, the readings were taken of 24 samples. Our site engineer visited there. He took the samples of R, Y, and B terminals. There are 24 thing. The design specification should be 75° to 85°. Yes, it is well within the specification. This was the reading taken from site after the corrective action. Next. Next. Yes, we did the probability plot. This is one of the tool I started using the statistics. Like it's evident from the normal and faintness, the p-value. Next, the probability plot for y. Next, this is the probability plot for b, r, y, and b. Next. Yes, next the process capability was calculated. The process capability is 1.53. It is okay. Next, the process capability for y, it is 1.67. Okay. Next, for b it is 1.95. So the whatever the readings we got from the cooler, it is okay, and we proved that yes, the process is capable of delivering. The cooler is capable of delivering it. Next. Further, a ANOVA test study was done to test the for equal variances of the cooler tubes R, Y, and B. Our intention was that all the variances of R, Y, B are equal or not. We wanted to check. Yes, ANOVA was there for us. You can see the probability value and the multiple comparison 11A test. We got it from the Minitab. So since the p-value is greater than 0.05, we accepted the null. It is evident that the cooler temperature for RYB phase is within the specification at 95% confident interval. No variation observed at site after action implementation. Next. Yes, once the action is completed, validation statistics is completed, the control phase. Yes, for future machine, the design document, the cooler specification datasheet updated, and also the lessons learned document updated. Yes, from this, the benefits. After action implementation, 24 machines were dispatched to site from past 10 months with this new cooler design. No issues were observed. Customer satisfied and quality repetition improved. Yes, for this year 2023 and 2024, we have got a lot of orders with Steam, and it is a pride and morale of our cross-functional team. Next. Yes, this time for
Great,
interaction.
great,
Thank
great.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So once again, you have done a great project, I would say, and that's the real part. And people like you definitely motivate. Unfortunately, we can't see your video, but it's okay. Even the presentation really mattered more. Of course, videos are fine. But what the best part I have seen in all your projects, which like last 2 years you have won the award, and this year also. In fact, I think your project deserves an award. But if you will be kind enough to give way to others, we can give awards to others as well. Anyway, I remember there used to be one a singer Filmfare Award. Lata Mangeshkar used to win every time. Then she said that finally that I would like to give chance to others, and then she withdrew her nominations in the future. But I think I always start thinking about that example when we hear you about the project. I would like everyone else, if you have any questions,
Yeah, any
anyone,
questions?
yes, please go ahead. So, mm, any questions? Because this is being streamed on three platforms: Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I can't. I'm not able to see other mm, on other platforms the comments. So if my team can tell us in case you see any of the comments from other platforms, if there are any questions, let us know about it. Okay, typically, how much time you take for these projects when you have done so many of them? Typically,
Actually,
how
it
many?
depends.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, depends on the severity of the problem, sir. It may take because 3 months, 6 months, because to complete all the things, once we start with the analysis, sometimes the analysis part may take more, sometimes the corrective action may take more. It depends, sir. It depends on the criticality of the problem. Once my view is once the people who go to site get the data from them, read the data, then analyze with the team. A lot of work is there in doing this. Usually 6 months I can take 6 to 8 months, sometimes 5 to 6 months, like that, sir.
That's really good, and we also recommend that uh, keep a target of around 6 months, and it
Yeah,
may go up to 8 months as well.
eight
Because if
months.
you drag too much, then people lose the interest. And more
Yeah,
important is the bringing in the great culture of quality.
yeah, that's
And
important,
this
sir.
happens when you keep your projects under the duration project duration under
Yeah,
control, and that's also important. Great, I see Dharmana and Naresh saying thank you very much. So that's good. Yeah, so I'm
thank you.
seeing now YouTube ones. uh, I think yeah, in LinkedIn also I see quite a few comments. Bala is there. Bala is also uh, conducting training programs. He's our trainer, by the way. So
Yeah,
he's very happy, and keeping Bala happy, making him happy is very important, because he's very technically sound person. He can't tolerate any technical nonsense. Sometimes I do tolerate, but he doesn't tolerate.
thank you, sir. My pleasure, sir.
So he's saying very nice. So that means it's like that's an award by itself, I would say.
Yeah,
Uh, with that, I would like to, Deepak, I would like to thank you for giving this presentation, and thanks a lot. And once again, congratulations for being nominated in the top 4 or 5. And we'll get in touch with you if you would like to withdraw your nomination to give way away to others. Then why not? But yeah, in either case, this project really, really superb and great projects. Once again,
thank you, sir. Yeah,
congratulations.
thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Yeah.